Saturday, noon to 2 on WRMN, 1410 AM, Fox River Valley Media Network. Streaming on WRMN1410.com. Studio number here is 847-931-1410, or you could text us in on the Magic New Mexico text line, 505-926-1410, or hit us up in the YouTube live comments on the WRMN 1410 channel. Check out all of our previous shows on cgr.silink.net. So cgr.psylink.net. All right. Hey, Paul.
Hey, Mike. How are you?
I'm kind of physically ill, not because of any sickness or virus or infection or anything but just something that happened in the news this week. In that they signed a bill authorizing, and you can see me with the air quotes here, only limited and specific situations for assisted suicide. And it makes me sad when the government has such lack of care about the people that they're supposed to protect, that they just go and say, hey, if you want to kill yourself, we found a way to let you do it. It's okay. But they say it's only in limited and specific circumstances. When the government says something is limited and specific, they mean we got our foot in the door and now we're going to throw it wide enough open for an entire train full of circus elephants to get through. What do you think?
You're absolutely correct. You know what just happened, to be honest with you?
Yeah.
Grandma just got run over by JB walking home from our house Christmas Eve, because that's what's going to happen. And it's going to be people that are mentally challenged, people that have issues, people that just need to get out and see some sun. And as the younger people say, touch some grass and walk. And it's going to be people that just can't cope, and they're going to be ending their lives unnecessarily. And it's like everything diabolical from every bad thing in history and every bad journal. It's like they're raising the people on the top of the planet to eat them at the bottom of the planet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the Morlocks. They're Morlocks.
It's exactly right. And whoever, this can truly tell you, this is a dude or dudes or dudettes that have no concept of what a
human
higher
compassion.
Authority is. Yeah, they have no concept of what a higher authority is, because it's pretty bad. I mean, they even let people that are like mentally challenged do it in other countries. I think Canada and some Scandinavian countries. And when they passed the law in these countries, people were flying there, staying in the hotels, and they were finding people dead in the elevators, because they were, went there, vacation, their final trip, and it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad that a major moral, industrialized, first world nation would resort to this.
Absolutely. It's like we've given up on your illness. We've given up on this. We've given up on that. Who's to say, all right, so this is, quote, human compassion, because, quote, there are a few people that were really suffering with a terminal at the time illness, all right? Like a terminal at the time illness. They were really suffering with it. They couldn't take it anymore. It became a financial drain on them and the state, right? Became a financial drain on them. And they, destroying their family, they discussed it with their family. And then, they said no one else should go through that under those, quote, specific circumstances, right? So we're going to pass this law, and they mask it as their own human compassion. So they found They found the 1 in a billion. They found the 1 in a billion event, right? And they're going to say, we need to prevent this 1 in a billion event from ever happening to anyone else in the world. So we're going to pass this law and we're going to open the gates for this, right? And it seems like this gate is very narrow. But I remember, this is, people will say this is apples and oranges, or maybe I'm oversimplifying it. But as a police officer, we used to get free medical from the city, absolutely free. We paid nothing, all right? But we went out and dealt with the most dirty, disgusting people, the people in challenged circumstances, people that were in a bad way, and they weren't often very healthy, and the little kids weren't often very healthy. And you're going into this group, and you're bringing home everything. You're getting sick, you get that. Then you get into fights. Then you go into areas that you're not familiar with, and you might fall and get hurt. And that's that's the risk of the job. But because you have this full coverage medical insurance, the city's saying, okay, well, you're good. Now, you could always claim IOD, injured on duty, and then have the city pay for this. However, how do you prove, you got the flu from some passing piss bum, right? You got the flu from dealing with him, and now you're off for a couple of days and you got to go to the doctor. Oh, well, that's on you now. That's your medical insurance, and you got to pay the co-pays, and you got to pay this. But before, the city was like, you don't have to pay anything because we're covering your insurance. Then the city in the contract negotiations go, well, we just want them to cover $2, like just a token amount. So people can't say that the police officers aren't paying their fair share or whatever, right? Well, our fair share is that we go out there and deal with people that no one else does. But they said $2, and I stood up. I was livid, right? And I says, you can't do that. You're opening the door. You give them $2 now, the next contract, it goes up. And sure enough, they give you a pay raise, but they would take that all back in insurance because the city's self-insured. So they just raised that, and it's like, hey, I'm paying for the privilege now of working for the police department. So that's what's going to happen with this, is they got the little door open, and now they're going to say, but what about this group of people? What about that group of people? What about the right to pursue happiness? And I don't have happiness in my life, so I want to find it in the afterlife. If there is an afterlife, right? What all these things come through, that's why you can never open the door. You can never open a Pandora's box like that. So I have to look at it, and my logic is, one, are these guys smart? Are they evil? Do they have an agenda? Just because they have an agenda doesn't make them smart, right? But it looks like this. It looks like they know what they're doing. And they jumped on this because in the future, they do want control of when your life ends. Right? And you know how we have, hey, Ryan. Ryan's out there at the door looking forlorn. Ryan's Matt's brother. These guys, Matt's my producer. Anyway, so
you know what?
Logan's Run, right? Everyone's going to go at 30. You know
what I have to say to this? It's real simple. I've said this to other people before. No matter what, Soylent Green is people.
Yeah.
And
that was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Soylent Green happened in 2022, according to the movie.
Right. But Soylent Green is people, okay? And you take that two ways. It's people in the cakes, but it applies to people, and that's what they've done. They've just they're and anything. I'm not trying to be funny, but anything that's for the betterment of the state and not for the people is not a good thing.
Absolutely. Because the state is evil.
Well, the state works for the people.
Supposed to work for the people. It's supposed to work for the people.
Right. Well, that's our Constitution. The state works for the people. The people aren't working for the state. That's what the problem is. And the state, whatever it is, the swamp, the state, those people, them, whoever they are, they work for us. Okay. We don't work for them. Okay. And until they get that, we're going to have stuff like this.
Yeah. And just like, here's the same thing, right? And, we discussed it with the dude, the guy, the terrorist that shot the 2 National Guardsmen, right? Mm-hmm. And the death penalty, where I am against the death penalty because I have to keep my logic even and sane, all right? And it's not logic, it's also philosophy and theology, right? Because what we have is what I believe in, all right? And what we have, because my belief is my faith, and my faith is, you're not going to convince me otherwise. So we don't know when someone is going to redeem themselves, when someone's going to have that flash of clarity, all right? That flash of knowledge, all right? In a relationship with our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, right? It have that flash of knowledge, right? That says, hey, I was living a wrong life. I was living for myself, and I was, my soul was bad. So if you, as a human being, kill this person for their crimes, and truly, some of these people do deserve death for their crimes. Those are horrid, absolute, awful crimes. They deserve death for them, all right? But once you get them under control, you have them in a controlled environment in prison, and you separate them from society, then why are you killing them? Supposedly, they're no longer a danger to anyone except the people in the prison with them. All right. So with a small child, a preborn child, a human being, and abortion, right? Abortion, a human being and abortion like that, you have just destroyed all the potential. All right. A brick sitting at the top of the Sears Tower. Yeah, Willis Tower. I'm going to call it the Sears Tower, right? A brick sitting up there. People don't even know what Sears is anymore. But a brick that was sitting up there at the top has a potential of energy. Right now, it's just sitting. It's laying there. It's like doing nothing. It's not moving or anything. But if you give it a little itty bitty push, it falls off the tower and starts falling down and gaining momentum and gaining speed. And we know that velocity times mass is equal to force, all right? Which can create enough force to put a big giant crater in the street. But it was just a brick sitting up there before. So when you have a potential of life, you have a potential of great things, but you also have a potential of bad things to happen with this. But that's it. That's the choice of life, right? Goes one way or another. So you're destroying that potential. Who gives you that right to destroy that potential? That's a potential that God, the Creator, put in a soul, which is going to grow up to be a sentient soul. Now, some of these bodies, right? The bodies may be not optimal, all right? You might have Down syndrome, which is a common reason that people claim that they want to have abortions, right? You have doctors that say your child is going to be born with all this problems and everything, and he's not going to live till the age of 3, And why just keep it? And then the child's born and it's perfectly healthy at 79 years old. But the doctor, who's not omniscient, right, has said that it's our belief through these chemical tests and everything else that, and they're wrong, right? They could be wrong. But how do you prove it if you destroy the evidence or don't give that potential? So the other thing is, when you have an end of life thing and this person is going through real hard times, I'm sorry for that. I pray for that. I pray that doesn't happen to me, anyone I know, or anybody. I wish no torture on anyone, because that's what Jesus tells me to do. Not wish torture on people, not wish pain on people. But let's say the person dies, to commit suicide, right? And they die, and they go, and he goes through to the coroner, and they do a blood test, and a guy goes, "Oh, this guy had a chemical imbalance that could have been cured with vitamin B12." Right? A simple thing like that, right? And you go, we didn't know that. Well, have you gone to the absolute extremes on that? And who knows, the day after, they may have the cure. Oh, look I discovered a cure. And this person could have been a test case for that cure. That's why you can't open that Pandora's box. You have to have two doctors. Oh, well, it looks like I'm going to have two envelopes. You know what I mean, Paul, right?
Oh, yeah.
You really want to go through this. All I need is two envelopes.
They'll go to the ends of the earth for the rat bastard murderer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, look at what they're doing for the guy that was supposed to be deported years ago. The wife beater, the human trafficker, all right? And anything other, the gangbanger and everything, not even a legal citizen, they're going to deport him, and they're all coming to bat for him because, oh, look, he's just a Maryland man. They use those, they work.
I told you many years ago, I had an ex-former president from the Chicago was going to bat for this guy that had been convicted of murder several times, and he had, and like I said, the guy eventually pled guilty. He was, quote, one of the Burge cases, but Burge wasn't even there. But they went to, you wouldn't believe who came to bat for him, besides the president guy, media personalities, people that had shows with book clubs. They didn't go to bat for people that needed operations and stuff like that.
Yeah, they left a Marine in Mexico for years.
Right.
A Marine. Who knows what he did wrong there? But, he wouldn't even, if he did it wrong in the United States, he would have got less than a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
But no one went to bat for that guy saying, hey, you got one of our Marines. Let him go. But yeah, what they pick and choose is through the feels, and honestly, they absolutely do a check of their base, and they play to their base, which is not, you want a person, I want a person in office that's not only smarter than me, not too difficult, smarter than me, but sees things from a view I haven't seen before and can explain it to me so I could oh, well, that makes sense. All right. I want to have confidence in my leadership to know that they could do a better job than I'd be able to do there. And I think a lot of them in the past few years, I'm like, I could do a better job. Why? Because I can't be bribed. I don't care about the money. I can't be bribed. I'm not going to insider trade. I'm not going to protect anyone. Right? That's why you'll never get in there. That's why people get blocked in Congress. So are we ready for commercial?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
A minute.
So, okay. So when we come back, we originally wanted to talk about, it came down to Venezuela stuff, right, Paul?
Right.
Yeah, and other things. And you were telling me a story yesterday. We could bring that up, and on the show, and I can explain it more in depth. I did a little bit more research on it, right? But I am an expert. That was my military job, human intelligence and interrogator. So I am the subject matter expert for the Geneva Conventions and treating prisoners of war and other detainees. So we'll be back in a few minutes after these messages from our fine sponsors, again, or something like that. So I've taken to watching these YouTube videos, all right? And I've been getting a lot of World War II stuff, in particular, some destroyer battles in the Pacific between the U.S. and the Japanese. And one of the things is that they would, Japanese lost a lot of destroyers, and then they left one destroyer behind to pick up survivors. But that destroyer thought that, it's getting towards daylight and the aircraft might be coming. So they left their own survivors in the water, right? And they fled the scene. Okay. Now, if an American ship was there and those survivors are still in the water, and the American commander didn't believe that he was in danger of a Japanese counterattack with submarines or aircraft, right? He should stay in the area and get all the survivors out. Let's say a Japanese submarine is off the coast of San Diego or San Francisco or something, right? And a coastal watch blimp goes up there and drops step charges on it. And the submarine surfaces, but it's only surfaces for a short time because it's getting ready to sink, right? And the sailors start jumping off. Well, you know where those sailors are. They are now shipwrecked. They're no longer enemy combatants. And they're shipwrecked now. So it's maritime law, even against belligerents there, and it's only human decency to go and get those guys out of the water, because really, at the coast like that, you're not in danger, even though the Japanese in World War II were extreme. The U.S. was not very friendly to them, right, for the things that they did on Wake Island and the Bataan Death March and numerous other atrocities. We still have to be the good guys in the white hats. So we got a call. Let's take our caller here.
Hey, Mike and Paul, how you doing?
Hey, Larry.
Hey, Larry.
I saw that same video and on YouTube about the Japanese destroyer that left the scene. But I'd like you guys' opinion on something. This has made the news. Did you hear about the guy in Atlanta who shot the porch pirates?
He shot him.
Yeah, he shot two apparently. It was some guy who was a cook. There were two porch pirates who were following, I guess, like an Amazon truck or whatever. They went into this property. One was two kids, 16 and 15, and he shot him. He wounded them both, but the Atlanta police are going to charge him with, they're saying, how do you feel about that? I mean, when you think about it, is somebody's life worth over $100 that they stole from you? But I'd like to hear your opinions about. If you could look it
just
up.
on that, I haven't seen the video, so I don't know, and I don't know what's involved. If these kids were armed, or if they acted like they were armed, or if they said they were armed, or if they said this guy, "I'm going to shoot you," or "We're going to come back and end you, old man," or something like that, which would put him in imminent fear of receiving a battery or imminent fear of death. And then he struck back to prevent that from happening. So I can't really make, this is one that's going to have to go to the jury. Me, myself, that's property. That's not life-saving medication on my front porch. That's some stupid Chinese crap. Not everything you order on Amazon is stupid Chinese crap, but that's just some stupid crap. All right? And if the kids take it and everything, God bless them. Run away with it. I don't care, But,
Larry, this, I'm a licensed concealed carry instructor, and this comes up all the time, and it's actually in the code. It's called the law of self-defense in Illinois.
Yeah, but he's talking about Georgia. So we
yeah, but generally,
if it happened in Illinois,
generally, this is pretty much all over though. Generally, because this issue has come up before. If you can never kill anybody just for property, okay, and if it's property, like this would come up in every single class. Now, like, and I would use these two examples just so you know. So if you're filling up your car and there's no wife or kid in the car, and they want to jack your car and you're away from the car, you can't shoot them, okay? But if you're at the car and they approach you and, like Mike says, they make threats or they lay hands on you, that's a different story. You're there. You're not property, okay? So that's a whole new ball game. And then the other one is the most common one that I talk about. Say you're out and you come back and you notice your front door's open and everybody that lives in your house is with you in the car, okay? You can't go in the house, okay? Because once you go in the house, if they're still in there, you've gone in there for a property matter, okay? But if you think your kid's in the house or you hear screaming, hypothetically, something like that, that's a different story. But once you enter the area, you could have stayed out, called the police. So
it's a reasonable man. It's a reasonable man argument.
Right. You can never kill anybody over property or just, stealing stuff on your front porch.
Well, okay, legally as a concealed carry guy, you can't do that. In the military over property, there's a different thing there. All right. There's also a thing, it's a forcible felony. It's got to be burglary is a forcible felony. All right. Okay. So as a police officer, it's not city policy, but state law says if I'm in a building, I can shoot a burglar because it's a forcible felony, unless they changed what the definition of a forcible felony. All right. Well, so forcible felony involving death or great bodily harm. You used to be able to shoot auto thieves in the back. You could shoot a fleeing felon in the back.
Or in a violent or tumultuous manner is the way the statute reads.
Yes. So let me get this out of the way real quick now. Thank you, Larry.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Where's my? I'm looking for my disclaimer. Maybe I don't have the disclaimer.
The information on this show is for informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal advice on any subject matter. The views put forward on this show are the opinions of the host, Michael Tooman and Paul Burvid, guest hosts, their guests, callers, and not necessarily those of WRMN 1410 AM.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Paul. And Paul's a lawyer, so he knows that. So we're not giving legal advice out here, but we are giving our professional opinions. All right. Some of those opinions actually reflect fact, but that's up to you to look up or to hire someone to tell you that.
And they also reflect experience, because I was on both sides, both the defense and also the prosecution.
Yeah, and I've been on the other side of the law. Traffic. Anyway, so all right. So when we're talking back with the Venezuela thing, all right. So the discussion comes to, they call them shipwrecked sailors. I love this. He's a shipwrecked sailor. All right. Okay, he's a shipwrecked sailor.
Who caused the shipwreck?
All right. So a sailor. All right. So they're describing him as a sailor, but what type of sailor is he? All right. Who does he work for? All right. Who does he work for? He's doing something. Does he actually own that boat? Is that boat flagged under Venezuelan law? All right. Is it flagged to Venezuela, or is it an unmarked boat, unlicensed, unregistered boat? Guess what my guess would be, Paul?
Unlicensed.
Unlicensed, unregistered, unmarked, which means he's a
pirate.
Sailor without a flag. Right? Now, not all people without flags become, pirates, right? But, all right, so fishing, you get some less than modern people that have their own fishing boats that don't have numbers or anything, and they usually involve oars, and they usually stay kind of close to shore when they do their fishing, right? But what you have here is a non-state actor. So if this was Venezuelan naval flotilla boats, fast boats, we had not PBYs, PT boats.
PBRs.
That's PBR, good brand, rebought. All right, they actually bought the branding. It's a different recipe from when I was a kid. Old style, same recipe from when I was a kid. This one's
patrol boat river.
No, okay, no, but the PT boats like JFK, PT 109. All right, so those are. Yeah, they're considerable. They're 80-foot boats, right? But they're made out of wood, plywood, right? And they have 3 engines in them. 3 very powerful engines. But, all right, they're not what you would consider a giant naval flotilla. The Iranians have used small, fast boats as a naval flotilla. Remember when they surrounded one of our boats, and these guys did not have adequate decisive leadership that caused them to become captured, right? And it was very humiliating for the U.S.
The USS Pueblo.
No, that's North Korea.
Oh.
All right. So they were actually on a naval ship. All right. They weren't faking anything. They were on a naval ship. They didn't expect to be surrounded by fast North Korean boats that boarded them, right? They weren't ready for that. But we're talking about in the Gulf of whatever Hormuz or anything. Where the Gulf, where the Iranians have the border, so they could prevent they could try to prevent
the flow of oil
shipping.
And commerce.
All right. So they have small, fast boats, but those are Iranian Navy, and the Iran has a Navy, and they actually acted 2 minutes, as a military thing, right? This isn't. The Venezuela hasn't said, "Hey, you're sinking our naval vessels." Have they said that yet?
I haven't heard that. No.
They're not. They haven't claimed that they're their Navy vessels, right? They're part of their Navy. That these were their troops, because the reason these things are going out now, because they're working not for Venezuela, they're coming out of Venezuela, but there are non-state actors. So they're cartel, they're organized crime, all right? Their leadership and everything is based on organized crime, international crime. So what they do might not be illegal in the country they're operating out of, but getting that stuff into the United States, we consider that illegal. So we treat it as, we have under Title 46 of the U.S. Code, it covers this, right? So we have authority to board these ships. If these ships refuse to be boarded, we have the authority to destroy them. We consider them illegal enemy combatants, right? Illegal enemy combatants. They're non-state actors. We said that these narco traffickers are terrorists, all right? So they're like actually in combat against the United States, only their weapon is chemical, all right? And it's not directly attacking us, but it's weakening our national defense by weakening our pool of manpower from the United States, killing people off with fentanyl. Oh, but they don't make fentanyl in Venezuela. Oh, no, but I remember when a president said we had to go into Haiti in 1994. Do the math on that one, which president said it, because Haiti was a way station for narco terrorism. All right. And we're taking another break. And when we come back, the second half of the Chief Guard of the Republic radio show. Want to read some action-packed, exciting pulp fiction? Read the works of Michael Tooman, now featuring their international crime thriller, I Married a Bot Madam. Available on Amazon in hardcover, paperback, and Kindle editions. The paperback is also available at other book retailers. Check out Michael Tooman's webpage at Scilink.net. That's Papa, Sierra, Yankee, Lima, India, November, Kilo, dot, November, Echo, Tango. Join your co-hosts Mike Tooman and Paul Burvitt on our weekly radio hour, Chief Guard of the Republic, where we talk about all things national security, defense, personal security, safety, and dealing with law enforcement situations. Call in 847-931-1410. Ask us questions. We will get you answers. Every week, Saturday, noon to 1 on 1410 AM WRMN Elgin. Streaming on WRMN1410.com. Chat with us on WRMN's YouTube live channel.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410 Elgin time, 1 o'clock.
Breaking news at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. 2 U.S. service members and 1 American civilian have been killed and 3 other people wounded in an ambush by the Islamic State terrorist group in central Syria. The U.S. Central Command notes that today's attack on U.S. troops is the first to inflict casualties since the fall of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad a year ago. Days of torrential rain still having an impact on Washington state.
What's described as an atmospheric river is causing historic flooding in Washington state, stranding families, washing over roads and bridges, and cutting off a border crossing to Canada.
This is something that the people of the state of Washington have not faced before, this level of flooding.
Washington Governor Bob Ferguson spoke at a news conference in Tukwila Friday afternoon.
The situation is extremely unpredictable.
The governor says he's grateful to President Trump, who has signed an emergency declaration. I'm Jennifer King.
And also at townhall.com, the floodwaters are receding across western Washington today. That's easing pressure on levees and allowing cleanup to begin. Getting trapped in quicksand may sound like something out of the movies and old TV shows, but it can and sometimes does happen in real life, and it happened this week in Utah's Arches National Park. Emergency responder John Marshall helped with the rescue.
When you hear something that only happens, essentially every 10 or 15 years, it kind of makes you scratch your head and say, is this what I heard? And sure enough, that's exactly what we heard.
The Justice Department has filed lawsuits against multiple states for failing to provide their statewide voter registration list. Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights Harmeet Dillon says it's all about trying to uphold election integrity.
It's free for states to check their voter rolls for dead people, for non-citizens, and they have a duty to do that.
And she says not everybody wants to. The Justice Department has already sued states like Delaware, Maryland, New Mexico, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Washington. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, it's Mike Gallagher. The holidays are right around the corner, and you know what that means. Travel, gifts, family gatherings, and a whole lot of spending. Here's a way to get ahead of it all. Call my friends Mike and Brian and the team at Fellowship Home Loans. Rates have dropped again. That means you could refinance, lower your monthly payment, even skip your next 2 mortgage payments. That's right, 2 months with no mortgage payment. Put away the checkbook. Keep that money for the holidays. You won't be making any more payments till 2026. Maybe you're not looking to refinance, but you need access to cash. Well, Fellowship now offers their own HELOC and line of credit. Approval just takes a few minutes, and you can have funds in your account in as little as 4 days. Use it to pay off bills, finish a renovation, or simply get ready for the new year. Just go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 819382.
Some serious questions about aviation safety are dogging a massive defense bill that's now before Congress.
The 3,000-page National Defense Authorization Bill was passed Wednesday by the House, but senators are pushing for changes. Federal crash investigators and victims' families warned that provisions in the legislation would make flying less safe. The bill currently allows military helicopters to fly without broadcasting their locations, which would undo reforms put in place after January's deadly collision between a passenger plane and a military helicopter over Washington, D.C. Jennifer King, Washington.
President Trump this week signed an executive order pressuring states not to regulate artificial intelligence. Trump and many Republicans argue the limited regulations already enacted by states and others that could follow might dampen innovation and growth for the key area of technology. You'll find breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. Correspondent Ed Donahue has a royal health update.
The king is 77, and almost 2 years ago he announced he would undergo treatment for an undisclosed type of cancer.
I am able to share with you the good news that thanks to early diagnosis, effective intervention, and adherence to doctors' orders, my own schedule of cancer treatment can be reduced in the new year.
The King's message was part of a broadcast in Britain to encourage people to take advantage of screening that can detect cancer in its early stages when it's easiest to treat. He says it worked for him,
enabling me to continue leading a full and active life, even while undergoing treatment.
I'm Ed Donahue.
A GOP package on health care excludes Enhanced Affordable Care Act subsidies, sparking pushback from some moderates. Leadership signals a possible floor vote on the Obamacare subsidies sometime soon. More on these stories at townhall.com.
For nearly 50 years, the DuPage Senior Citizens Council and Kane Senior Council have been dedicated to serving seniors in DuPage and Kane counties. Established in 1975, the DuPage Senior Citizens Council is a volunteer-driven 501c3 non-for-profit organization committed to helping older adults live with dignity. From providing nutritious meals to offering support services, the Kane Senior Council is there every step of the way. With programs designed to enhance independence and quality of life, they're proud to make a difference in the lives of their senior neighbors. To learn more or to volunteer, visit them at 418B Airport Road in Elgin or head to their website at caneseniorcouncil.org. Give them a call at 630-338-0999. That's 630-338-0999. That's the Kane Senior Council, caring for seniors because they deserve to live with dignity and respect. Visit caneseniorcouncil.org or call 630-338-0999 today.
Fixed Bayonets, comrades, we're back with the Chief Guard of the Republic radio show with your co-hosts Mike Tuman and Paul Burvid. Every Saturday, noon until 2. This is the second half, the 1 until 2 show. And we finally gotten into talking about the boats and stuff in Venezuela. And we're probably move on a little bit to the embargo thing. But, all right, so I use the term illegal enemy combatant. And that is from a non-state actor. These are words that people might not understand, you know, but it boils down to a terrorist is a non-state actor and an illegal enemy combatant. All right, so you could just use terrorist. Now, are some terrorists funded by an actual state? Yes, like Iran funds Hamas, right? And other countries form various other terrorist organizations. We fund the United States and indirectly through its own citizenship funds the terrorist organization known as the Gangster Disciples by allowing them to operate.
Good one, Mike. Good one.
Yeah. All right. They're terrorist they're just drug dealers. No, they're terrorists. All right. They're illegal enemy combatants. They're seeking to undermine the strength of the United States. They're a detriment to our national defense because our national defense is ultimately based on the ability of our fighting age people to fight. And if you destroy even a small percentage of that with drugs, all right, putting people into poor health through poverty, that destroys the thing. So they're terrorists. They don't fall under the Geneva, do regulating everything because they're trying to look for that one little terrorist out of 100,000, a million people, to keep that 999,999 safe from one guy, so they make life miserable for everyone else. It's like we're basic training. I remember it to this day because it was funny. The drill sergeant had it. He had it nailed, right? So he would stop the platoon because we weren't marching right. We weren't listening to the orders. We're still new guys, right? And he would go pick out one guy. He'd go, you over there, stand aside. And the guy would leave the formation. He goes, everyone else drop. We'd be pushing Missouri to China. Keep pushing, And he says, there is no mass punishment in the Army. I'm not punishing him. It's like in the government. There is no mass punishment in the government. I'm not punishing myself. Because I made these laws, but they don't apply to me. Apply to everyone else, like Congress does, right? Everyone else got to get the shot. Not us. Not us. See, it wasn't draconian because we didn't. So if you make it the government like that, the terrorism actually looks more free. Hey, look, these guys do whatever they want. I want their form of government because our government really sucks. It's really like that we're the terrorists now. So when you do that economic warfare on that, you make that government look weak and everything else that people want to overthrow it. All right, the psyops to make them change their own government. Like the terrorists would. Okay, they blow something up. Okay, we stop letting you have food. It's like, we put in these oil-rich countries. Now Venezuela could be self-sufficient on food. Absolutely self-sufficient. But no one would work because someone so the kid story, right? About the chicken. Mama chicken goes out and she wants to bake some bread. So she goes to the barn animals. Hey, can you help me gather some grain? Because I want to make some bread. And, I'm too busy, right? So she gathers the grain herself. She goes, hey, do you want me to help me grind the grain into flour? Oh, I'm too busy, right? So she grinds the grain into flour herself. You want to help me knead the dough? No one wants to. You want to help me get the fire? No one wants to. But when she bakes the bread, everyone wants to eat it. Right? So that's the thing. You bake the bread all on your own, and your neighbors are coming, and everyone's coming, and first thing the government does is takes their 90% slice and leaves you 10% for all your labor. And then they pass out the first 90% of the 90% to their friends. And then the rest of the people in need get to divvy up what's left.
I had a friend. He was one of the members of the band The Effigies, but he was also a prosecutor. And he was one of the people that was shot during that 4th of July parade. But tragically, he died a ways after that in a bicycle accident. But this was when people were complaining, I guess, at Chicago Fest or whatever. They said that, they were storming the gates. Yeah, they were storming the gates, and they were saying the music should be free. And you know what he said? He said they're right, but who pays the band?
The band should do it for free because they want everyone. Most of those band members want you to give away all your labor for free.
Right. But that's not free when you're making the band work for free.
Is Bono giving free concerts?
Not that I ever saw.
Oh, no. But he wants you to pay taxes to give foreign aid, right?
Right.
Hey, why does he go have a concert, take every cent that he makes, tell the band, Tell the music guys, tell the sound guys, tell your grips, everyone lifting everything, everyone truck driving, people selling, distributing, advertising, say, sorry, suck it up. I'm giving all the money to Ethiopia every time. You guys suck it up. Write it off as a tax loss. Think everyone would work for him again?
No.
But he wants you to do that. I have compassion. I give to charities that I choose to give to. I'm hardcore Roman Catholic, but I don't think the cardinal should be choosing where my money that I donate to my parish, that he could give that to some non-Catholic organization. So I choose not to give that way. I choose to give to charities of my choice that I believe in. That's what we, but the government thinks that they give to everyone, right? Even though that stuff should be, honestly, every form of public aid, international aid that goes out there should be a referendum vote. Not even don't even go through Congress. Don't go to the Senate. Just have an election. Put it on a referendum. You get 51%. They want a democracy, right? You get 51%, that country gets the money. You get 49%, they don't get nothing. That's a democracy, right, Paul?
Right.
All right, any last words?
Yeah, I'd like to say to Brendan and Dennis and Downtown Jose, thanks for your comments, and everybody have a great week.
Yeah. Heading in the tariff of the United Textiles, the largest tariff. Oh, yeah, I forgot that Dennis was, Cleveland Dennis was highly, he should be like an expert guy. Maybe next week he'll call in to be an expert on the textile industry. I forgot about that. All right. So something will happen next week that'll get me upset. Just remember, life is sacred. Life is sacred. No matter how poor it is, no matter how bad it is, whatever, life is absolutely sacred. Thank you for listening.